This program is designed to showcase Faribault Wrestling and their fine student athletes. So it's time to get off your couch, strap on the headgear, and get ready. It's time for Takedown TV.
We have Coach Jesse Armbruster, the head coach of the varsity program at the high school, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about how the high school program is going.
We keep rolling. Boys are wrestling really well right now. Since the last time we had our taping of Takedown TV, we have wrestled Albert Lee, and we wrestled them to a really, it was actually a really great duel. You know, Albert Lee had just knocked off number 3 Owatonna in convincing fashion, and they came in here, and I think they were looking at maybe steamrolling over us, and we did not go down without a fight.
Well, I think there were a lot of people in the stands having it be a home meet that were thinking we were going to get steamrolled too, and when the score was 18-18 and there was another close match coming up right after that, people were really turning their heads and going, wow, what's going on here?
Well, you know, and it's just a testament to how hard these kids have been working. You know, we said, sure, you know, on paper, Albert Lee is a better wrestling team than what we are, but you know, that doesn't mean that we can't go out there and fight and make them earn everything. And I think we did that. You know, going into the 215-pound weight class, you know, what was it, 30-20, something like that, or 34-24. It was a 10-point dual meet, so we were right there. You know, they just had a couple more horses up top than what we did, but I think at the same time they left that gym thinking, oh boy, you know, Faribault's a pretty tough team.
That's been something that I think we've kind of done the last couple of years with Albert Lee at the end of the season. We've been giving them a bigger match than they expected, and I think a lot of teams have been taking notice on that as well. So I would piggyback on what you said about the kids working hard in the room. We're at the point now in practices where we don't have to say as much about keeping it intense. They're raising that intensity level on their own, and that has really helped.
Well, and that's what they're going to continue to do, and they know that. You know, I think everybody from the coaching staff all the way down to, you know, 103-pound, every individual on our team knew that, all right, sure, we wrestled Albert Lee tough, but it was still a loss. There's still work to be done. And you know what, we came up here the next day, we started working, we continued to work, went into Century, another Big 9 match, and, you know, pretty much beat up on those guys 54-21. And then the next night went into Wayzata, and, you know, and there's another team that on paper, you know, had a pretty decent looking squad. Again, maybe supposed to beat us, and you know, we won that one as well, 38-25. You know, so we had two nights after that Albert Lee where our kids were sitting there we wrestled 28 matches and lost 7. You know, 7 individual matches. So the boys have been wrestling really well. And again, it's the work ethic and the attitude that they bring into this wrestling room every night.
That's exactly right. If you look coming into this season and looking at the team that we had, we got some salty boys on this team, some seniors, but I think it's really a tribute to our underclassmen that have stepped into some varsity roles and filled some holes where guys went down. That's been the character of this team, that no matter who goes down, someone steps up to take their place.
All right, and we knew that we had some fairly lofty goals for this squad at the beginning of the year. You know, it hasn't quite worked out to where we thought. You know, we're missing some key individuals in this lineup, and you know what? We've come in and we've asked these guys, hey, you need to step up. We have a hole here. So and so, you know, so and so is hurt, or they can't be in the lineup tonight. We need to step up, and it seems like we've been constantly coming in and saying we need you to step up, and they have taken it another step on that ladder every single time. And you know, and that's all you can ask from your guys sometimes, and we're proud of them. We're proud of their efforts. We're you know, extremely happy with how hard they're working up here, and we're really excited for the rest of the season. You know, we go in tomorrow night, Rochester JM, and that's going to be an interesting one. You know, we're hoping to have a full gym simply because we know it's going to be a great duel. There's some people that say JM's going to win 8-9 matches. There's other people that say Faribault's going to win 8-9 matches. It's kind of fun listening to you know, the experts of the sport give their predictions as to what the score is going to be. I think there's a little bit of hype around this match, and I think our boys are ready for it, and we're looking forward to that challenge. And hopefully we can come out on top of that one, you know, and then head into the Armstrong duels where we have 4 more dual meets, and then really we just finish up with Owatonna and Mayo, and it's section time. So the end of the season's near.
Yeah, it's coming up fast, and I think the boys are primed for it. They're looking forward to seeing what kind of noise they can make in the section tournament.
I would agree. And you know what? And we're talking about how well these guys are doing, and I think that's a big credit, since we're honoring our seniors tomorrow night, a big credit to that group of individuals. You know, guys like Matt Purfist and Kevin Palacios and Alex Miller and Alex Zabel and Dalton Kamelik. You know, those guys are just, they're doing a great job for this team. They continue to work hard, you know, and it's been a lot of fun, you know. James Dennis, you know, individuals like this that are part of this squad and continue to root this team on and bring them to places that we haven't been in a while.
Yeah, and you look at that group of seniors, not a lot of those guys were involved in youth wrestling. A lot of them started wrestling middle school, even high school, and they've really risen to a whole different level. You know, and it can be done with hard work and determination. Those guys have shown that they can become solid varsity wrestlers over just a short time period.
You bet. You know, we're so proud of our youth program right now and what we're doing with that. And you're exactly right. These guys didn't have that. You know, we didn't have that type of program when they were little guys. So they're learning this basically, many of them, the last 4-5 years that they've, you know, maybe been in the middle school as a 9th grader or 8th grader, and then coming up here. And again, you know, the coaches like you and Jurley and Frank and Coach Roach and Coach Gunnis, everybody that's up here working with these kids every single day. It's all coming together, and you know, I think the community has something to be real proud of in Faribault wrestling.
I would agree. Thank you very much. Next up here we have Coach Brad Babcock, who's been running our youth program as well as coaches in the middle school program, and Brad's going to talk about how the youth season has gone so far.
Our youth season, our team team season has been over with now. We finished up with a 9-7 record overall as a team. Now our team is getting ready and getting set to wrestle in our section tournament in March for the NYWA. Individually, we just went to Kenyon last weekend. We had 43 kids there, and we came home with 11 firsts. Then we went to Montgomery on last Sunday. We had 18 kids there. We came home with 5 firsts at that tournament. Coming up, we have Janesville and Albert Lee and Mankato East on Sunday.
Sounds pretty good. Those numbers that are going to tournaments have been coming up year after year. That's a good thing to see. Do we still anticipate those numbers getting bigger as time goes on?
Yeah, I would expect by the end of the year here, as we get going, getting into the section individual tournaments for individual, we will be getting around 40 to, hopefully we'd like to get to about 50 kids by the time we get to Waterville tournament in February. Then when we get to our section tournament, districts and state, our goal is to get to 50 kids into the district and then go on from there.
So on an average practice night, how many kids do you have showing up coming to practices?
This year what we've done, we've had 2 practices. We do K through 2nd at 5:30 to 6:30. We usually have right around 30 kids in that one, 30 to 35 kids. Then we have our second practice, 6:30 to 8, which is for our advanced kids or 3rd through 6th grade. And on that practice, we have right around 45 to 50 kids in that practice.
Wow, so the numbers are really coming up. That's a good sign for those of us that coach at the high school. We're looking forward to seeing those numbers trickle on up to us. Standout individuals that you see moving into the middle school next year?
We have a pretty good 5th grade class. We have Dylan Schroed, Isaac Jandro, to just name a couple there in our 5th grade class. We have, I believe we have about 10 to 12 5th graders that should be wrestling 6th grade next year in our middle school class.
Wow, that'll be great. That'll be great when we can start getting that kind of numbers per class. All right, thank you very much. Next up here, we're going to talk to our middle school coach, John Frank, and he's going to talk a little bit about their season and give us some perspectives on what to expect from them next year. So, Johnny, what can you tell us about this year's middle school program?
Well, we were young, a little bit inexperienced, but good thing is we got better. And biggest thing is I'm going to kind of tell you after Christmas, the second half of the season, which we get split up. I mean, we wrestle for 3 weeks, then we got like a week off, and then we come back and finish our season with another 3 weeks. So we're trying to drill it back in these kids, get in shape, technique, and all this stuff. And for these young kids, it's kind of hard to grasp onto. But they took the challenge and they did well. I'd have to recognize our 3 8th graders, Devin Jandro, Nate Lee, Nick McCollum. Stepped in, both returning from last year, did an excellent job leading the team. And that's one thing we've really never had, the 2 years that I've been here at least in the middle school, is we come into practice and the kids are warmed up. The 3 8th graders were leading them into warm-ups and really being vocal, which was a big help. So we got high expectations next year for those incoming 8th graders. We had a couple champs. End of the season at Lakeville, we had Nate Lee, bigger guy, winning it for us, and also Parker H., 7th grader, and did an awesome job. And that was his first year out for wrestling, so Parker did a great job. Outstanding wrestler would be Anthony Van Tomey, and most improved Kyle O'Neill. And the most improved was a tough one. I mean, all those kids came in and got better each and every day. They found out really how it was to drill technique and practice and pick the right partner. They didn't mess around, which is a big thing in middle school. So us coaches were very happy with how the season went. We can't wait for next year. I think we have a big 5th grade class coming. We want to recruit. Let's get 40 kids in that room next year. So we're excited where this program is going.
Sounds good. Sounds good. That Nate Lee, I was down there working with the middle school when he first started. I think that was when he was 6th grade, and it's nice to see that he's having some success. He ended up as a champ in his weight group for the end of the season, huh? Wow, that's great. So what's the number one thing that you're trying to get through to those kids in the middle school level?
You know, biggest thing is keep your heads up. It's tough, but it's fun. You know, you get out there, you meet new people, but the thing is, it's self-confidence, it's strength, it's all these things that it's going to make you a better individual in the end. So, you know, middle school kids, come on out, try it out at least. Wrestling's a lot of fun, very rewarding in the end.
All right, well, thanks very much, Coach Frank.